name is Michael Bazzelli, and I'm a professor at the University of Western Ontario. This video is about student-group collaboration in an online teaching and learning environment. The focus of the video is a new graduate program called the Masters of Research for Policy and Evaluation, and a new core course in that program that I teach called Knowledge Mobilization. And the program and the course ran during the earlier stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. The course itself ran from January to April 2021. A key feature of the course includes a group project focused on visual communication for knowledge mobilization. As to say, visual communication for translating evidence and research into social change and policy change. Here you see the students in the course, Ria, Yaya, Felicia, Ada, and Claire. We'll hear from them in a moment. You also see our guest expert visual recorder, Monica Dickays, in the frame, and her visuals are included throughout the video. So let's turn to the first steps in getting to our work. Okay, so some of the high-level pedagogies you will see are group collaboration, online teaching and learning, and even elements of online experiential learning. Let's hear how the students got going.
We are doing our project on addressing homelessness through visual communication. So we're going to talk about our overarching problem today, each of our research interests, the intersections between each of our interests, a timeline that we came up with, and at the end we have some questions for you about how we should move forward.
So this is our core diagram. This is just looking at some preliminary intersections that we've identified and that we started to do some preliminary research into.
I wanted to kind of speak over the timeline of the project that we have kind of come up with. Just a preliminary one, like this is not set in stone. So for the first one, discussion of first presentation to edit and steer the project before finalizing on our appropriate research after getting the feedback from you today would be February 19th. Then hopefully moving on to February 26th, we would have a structured outline with the tasks and goals assigned to each group member. So everyone is kind of ready to go off and start their independent research before we submit the first draft on March 26th on a shared Google document for the team to kind of review and edit before the final deadline of somewhere between the first week of April. We just put April 1st for now, but I know that is also subject to change according to the syllabus.
You've probably noticed by now that we're using visual recording to capture our project on visual communication. I'd encourage you to pause the video at any time and examine these visuals in more detail. There's also an additional interesting feature of this project, as you can see in this image, and I refer to it as the Socratic teaching method. So I've embedded myself as a group member during dedicated class time each week in meeting with the group to undertake the project. And you can see how the group came together and started to plan their work and their deliverables already by early February. As with any group collaboration, there's negotiation over the topic, a plan of attack, and execution. So for example, did you notice that the group elected to have a team lead? That was their choice. Okay, so how did things develop? Okay, one additional element of the project is that we invited a content expert into the project for a consultation. Stephanie Vasco is an expert on knowledge mobilization and works on homelessness as well. What you will see in a moment is the group arriving at their final project presentation and noting how their interests came together. You can see the consultation with Ms. Vasco along the way. In doing this, we're also leveraging an aspect that many feel motivates experiential learning, and that is developing a professional network with professional contacts. Again, you can pause and examine the visual recording more closely at any time.
Our agenda for today is we're going to each talk about the overarching problem, and then we'll each talk about our individual research interests, and then we're going to talk about the intersections between our interests and sort of solutions that we applied within those intersections. Yeah, so we wanted to address homelessness using visual communications, and we all had our different backgrounds that we wanted to address it through. So like mine was the health impact of homelessness and how the healthcare system interacts with the homeless population.
doing social financing on homelessness in Canada, because I've worked with one of the Canada's largest bank, RBC, and then I've seen over the years what the contributions that we do to the homeless people. And
yes, I also wanted to add that I am looking at the role of SMEs in minimizing homelessness.
My section is looking at public safety and tech. Specifically, I've been looking at what has been done with some AI models and how they're kind of used to predict when someone is at risk of becoming homeless.
Yeah, so my section kind of involves the vulnerable groups, especially focusing on youth and Indigenous populations around Canada.
You can see how the group's disparate interests came together and overlapped. I like how the visual recording captures students' engagement with both the group dynamics and the topic as well. Okay, so let's wrap up. So a rewarding aspect of being an educator is working with students and student groups. It's not always easy, of course, and it can be challenging, but it's reassuring to see students come together and successfully negotiate a topic, bring their interests together, decide how to work, and of course, ultimately to execute their project. Doing all of this online is, of course, additionally challenging, but can be rewarding in different respects as well. The success here is a testament to the students' talent and grit, and above all, I'd like to thank them for the experience of my Knowledge Mobilization course in the spring of 2021. I'd also like to thank the MRPE program for the opportunity to teach the course, and Monica Dickes, of course, for her superb illustrations, and Stephanie Vasco for her expert advice in guiding the students during the project. As we continually interrogate our pedagogies for teaching and learning, particularly for group work, I'm sure you'll give thought to elements of collaboration you've seen here. The online aspect of all of this is surely something we'll have to confront in the years ahead. So I hope this video sparks some interest and curiosity for you to explore what your experience looks like in your own classroom. Thanks for watching, and of course, always teach and learn well.